I do continue to watch the India-Pakistan situation. Some of the updates, well, one of the most disturbing ones yesterday specifically, was that apparently the Pakistanis had sealed their border, and there were still about 700 to 900 Pakistanis on the other side, and they refused to repatriate them. And this was major news for a while, unclear about what their situation is right now. But yeah, this was a bad situation there for a while. There hasn't been any reporting. I'm going to assume that the Pakistanis finally allowed their own citizens in, but the situation continues to be very precarious on the border. Reports of all madrasas in Pakistan, in Kashmir, I'm sorry, to be closed over fear of airstrikes. Installation of sirens at key locations. Some of the other things. This is one that I found to be very, very telling and very interesting. The Indian Air Force is conducting takeoff and landing exercises at the Ganja Expressway in Uttar Pradesh. I'm sure I butchered it, and I apologize for butchering it. The exercise is being organized to assess the expressway's potential as an alternative runway during times of war or national emergency. This is something that I found very curious. You do something like this when you expect there to be retaliatory action or action taken against your air bases, limiting your ability to conduct flights. So if you're exploring this possibility right now, I'm beginning to think that at some point some military action is probably going to take place, and I don't know what, but I think it's becoming almost inevitable with the rhetoric that's going on right now. The rhetoric is off the charts on Twitter. It's incredible. There was a map earlier. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. The map below highlights active sectors, with both sides reporting ongoing engagements limited to small arms fire. These are ceasefire violations. As you can see, there's quite a few of them all along the line of contact. And now also remember that in this area are these dams that India has ceased water flow from. So this situation could spiral quite quickly. Water is life. Water is life. Because as you recall, we went through this before. This river valley that you see running right through the middle is the river that India just ceased water flow. And as you can also see, this runs through the heart of the agricultural heart, saying it twice, just as nice, of Pakistan. So if you think they're going to tolerate their food supply being cut off like that, I got a bridge for you. But this situation is still very precarious. There's new naval operations the Pakistanis are doing off the coast, as well as the Indians. There were maps on here earlier of the blocked, their exercise positions, easily mapped for each other to know, hey, this is where we're going to be exercising. It's a shooting war. At this moment, it's a low intensity conflict, which, if it were to stay like this and then burn itself out, that would probably be for the best, and you just have limited casualties, because there are reports of casualties. Just yesterday, there was a report of 3 Pakistani soldiers killed. Now, if you recall, on the night that all this started breaking, you would hear that 500 Pakistanis were killed, or 1,000 Indians were killed, or the massacre in the north, or whatever. And of course, it's the fog of war. We are in the fog of war right now. Because this is a war, and information is going to be scarce, very scarce. Especially when you have one side where it's illegal to show movement, and the other side where apparently not. But I'm sure that'll change. But looking through, the only thing that's changed really on the diplomatic front is that now you have the Secretary of State and the Defense Secretary of the United States coming out in basically full-throated support of India. You have China and many other countries who are coming out on the Pakistani side. And understandably so, a lot of these are Muslim countries, and China is basically the backer of Pakistan at this point. Yes, they have American equipment, but it's China selling them the stuff now and backing them. There were Chinese emergency military flights going in just a couple days ago. So I'll continue to watch the situation. If it stays as it is with just light border ceasefire violations and things like that, that literally is the best thing at this point we can hope for. If the situation really escalates, we have people creating bunkers in Kashmir, caching food in Kashmir, madrasas being closed, air raid sirens going up. You have the Indians on the other side practicing using expressways as airfields. The signs point to something more, but let's hope that's not the case. That's all I got. I'm going to keep on this. I'm going to keep watching this. And if anything develops, I'll let you know. Hit the like, subscribe, share it with a friend, let them know this India-Pakistan thing, it ain't over yet. In fact, it may not have even begun.